Okay, Patrick, this week in trading history, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, this week in trading history, I wanted to go back to the Pets.com IPO. But really, there's always this history. There's no shortage of companies out there to talk about their boom-bust cycles, and not everyone's worth talking about. But there's a particular thing about the Pets.com story that appeals to me. But anyway, let's first go through.
Well, listen, it was the poster child of the .com bubble.
It was.
Right? Like when people talk about the .com bubble, maybe Cisco would be the one that the institutional bigger people would know.
Yeah.
But for retail, this was the one that really just kind of
Absolutely.
exemplified the bubble.
So let's kind of go through some of the facts. So it was on February 11th of the year 2000. So just at the start of the new millennia, you had the Pets.com IPO occur at $11 a share. And it would trade over that first few trading sessions up to $14 a share before it collapsed. But it was epic, the rate of its collapse. It didn't stay. It didn't survive even a year.
Yeah, and it came out at the very top of the market.
Right.
I think it missed it by, a month?
Yeah.
Wasn't the top in March?
Yeah, so it was something crazy like that. So let's go through the thing. So first of all, interesting fact, Kev, Amazon.com was involved in Pets.com's first round of venture funding and purchased a majority 54% stake in the company.
I did not know that.
So Amazon actually, while it survived and went on to delivering much of the dog food people need in the future, it didn't do so with its Pet.com brand.
I
clearly.
did not know that.
Yeah, so during the fiscal year, it earned in the prior fiscal year, it earned $600,000 in revenue. That's it. Just 600,000, not even a million, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine WeWorks or something like that and not even having a mil revenue? 600,000 revenue, and it spent about $12 million in advertising. So it was running like super hot, right? And what was crazy is that it was selling merchandise at approximately 1/3 of the price it paid to obtain it.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, it was ridiculous.
It was making it up in volume, though.
Well, it took me a second. I'm getting drunk. So Pets.com tried to build a customer base using the same model Amazon. Discount, take the loss, but build a huge loyal base of people that buy it. But it was impossible for it to turn a profit, absorbing the cost of shipping these massive heavy bags of cat litter and cans of pet food, right? And so, specifically, those products tend to only have like a 2 to 4% profit margin. So let's
take the absolute lowest profit margin, heaviest item we can imagine, and make a company out of it.
It sounds great.
Delivering it.
Now, so like you were saying at the beginning, it became the symbolic of the mania of the dot-com boom in the late 1990s and early 2000s. And so really it became very well known, but more importantly, it was the pet, the puppet that actually got a lot of the memories of everyone going. And specifically, they ran Super Bowl ads, and they were a part of. They had their own float at the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. So they had that. We'll talk about the puppet in just a moment. But in the end. It traded at 19 cents the day it was liquidated on November 6th of the same year. So it basically IPO'd.
And came public with all this fanfare, and within less than a year.
Yeah, 268 days. And basically...
Actually, I wonder if that's a record for at least for a big company.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure there's some crappy company that went IPO'd, but think about that. That's like Peloton coming out, and then within the same year...
It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay, Dino. I gotta go to a lot of stores to get what you like. I'll be back.
If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, no, baby. Please don't go. Ooh, girl, I just want you to stay. Hey, man, I'm getting car sick. I think I'm gonna boot.
It's gone. They just shut their doors. They said, we ran out of money. They lost, okay, so the IP at $11 a share, but they lost $42 per share in the period that they, like literally they burned all cash, all debt, everything, and just zeroed. Like Tesla, what everyone thought Tesla was going to do.
Right.
But Pets.com did it, right? But now that's a great story, but what the reason why it immediately flagged for me when I was searching for a story was the puppet wars.
Yeah, see, I had no idea about these puppet wars.
Right, and so let's start. Okay, so the puppet wars involve multiple puppets, and so there's Triumph, the insult comic dog, and Ed's night party, Ed the Sock. And so let's go through a little history of these puppets, and I'll tell the story. So first, let's start with the Canadian puppet. And so Ed the Sock, which was host of the Canadian Much Music late night show, Ed's Night Party, started in 1987. So this is going way back in history. Some of our listeners weren't even born when Ed the Sock was out there. And so, here, let's quickly play a quick clip so everyone can see just who Ed is.
Put down your clicker and pick up your liquor. It's time for Ed's Night Party. Starring me, Ed the Sock, and my co-host, Deanna Kay. Welcome to Ed's Night Party. Now.
So, going on, Ed the Sock, or at least the creators of Ed the Sock, accused...
No, Ed the Sock is a real person.
Ed the Sock is a real person. So Ed accused Smeagol, the creator of Triumph, the insult comic dog, which got his fame from his appearances on Conan O'Brien's late night show, and accused him of ripping him off.
Right.
Right, but this was just them having a war of words, right? And so, let's actually play a fun clip of some of the best. What was your favorite scene out of that?
The Triumph. I'm a huge fan of when Triumph goes to the Star Wars kind of buying of tickets early where people are camped out. Let's play the tape because it's awesome.
Lena, play that clip.
But outside the Ziegfeld Theater is the real show. Return of the Dork. Unbelievable. Look, among the nerds, I found an actual girl here. Look at this. Not too shabby around here, huh, honey? The male-female ratio, yeah? I mean, you've got your veritable pick of the litter. You can choose from all kinds of guys who have no idea how to please you. She said pretty much, yeah. Who's going to stand up to this challenge?
I will.
Yeah, you're going to stand up to this? Yeah, right, and I'm stooping Lassie. It's a big commitment, all these guys standing in line here all this time waiting for the show. How do you explain this to your imaginary girlfriend?
He's
really good, actually. If you go and you just Google best of Triumph,
he was epic, right?
Dog,
and so
great.
I could totally see why Ed the Sock would be insulted. As a good Canadian party animal, he had his thing going, and here comes the Triumph, the insult comic dog. Like, who uses a cigar? Like, I mean, that's a ripoff. Anyway, so anyway, enough said. So then Triumph accused the Pets.com puppet of ripping him off, but the Pets.com puppet didn't take this very well.
As one doesn't,
And so it created the true puppet war. And so it led to Pets.com puppet putting a $20 million lawsuit for demanding damages for defamation and trade libel on it. And, well, you know what? Conan does a great job talking about it. So why don't we pay tribute to this absolute amazing puppet war and play this clip?
I don't know if you're aware of this, but we have a pretty popular character on our show that we've had for about 3 years now. Triumph, the insult comic dog. And we are now in trouble with the Pets.com puppet. But do we have a picture of him? There he is right there. I swear to God, I in no way asked for that response. The Pets.com puppet, I guess, is suing Triumph, right? because the Pets.com puppet says that Triumph has defamed, right?
Right.
The Pets.com puppet by saying that the Pets.com puppet ripped Triumph off. Is that right?
And oddly enough, those lawyers are puppets. They're puppet lawyers.
Right.
The whole thing is in puppet court.
You can't just get a regular lawyer. You need a puppet lawyer.
Puppet lawyer.
And we're just enjoying this because it's literally a sock puppet suing a sock puppet.
Well,
a sock puppet suing a rubber puppet.
Rubber puppet.
And
yeah.
why can't those two kinds of puppets learn to get along?
Have we not learned anything?
We've learned nothing from the past. And actually, I have a copy of the real lawsuit right here. I did not make this up. You have to hear this. This is the lawsuit. It alleges that Triumph is a plaintiff. Triumph. I'm not making this up. Plaintiff alleges that Triumph is a rubber dog, black and brown in color, that wears a gold bow tie, often smokes a cigar, and interacts with animals and with humans through rude and often vulgar comments and physical actions and or attacks. That's right. Now, opposed to the sock puppet, who is an advocate of pets, the voice of pets, and often interacts and communicates directly with other animals or with humans in order to convey to pet owners how pets feel about various pet-related issues.
It's a regular Mother Teresa.
Yeah. He's helping people. Well,
That's just unbelievable that there was a lawsuit filed on this.
A puppet suing another puppet in puppet court.
That's right.
With puppet lawyers.
It's just awesome. Who would have thought? I had forgotten this whole part of the story. You know, like I knew pets.com, but I didn't realize that there was this massive puppet war going on behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. So all of our listeners have homework. They have to go and find, check out all the Ed the Sock episodes. Go back and listen to some of the best of Triumph. And of course, no, there's nothing else to say about the pets.com.
No, the pet, he's
dead.
We
Done.
buried him in the backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.